Wow. I just
Hey,
had to make sure
friend.
my hair
Good
was ready
evening.
because that was an epic intro yet again. And I had to make sure that my hair was up for it. So,
I
It's
think it
ready.
looks really good.
you like that? You like that?
Yeah. So this green screen like protects all the flyaways. Like you can't see any, but they're all like this underneath the green screen. So it looks like it's together.
Well, hello
Oh, so
everyone.
that's the secret.
We are back for Wednesday's show today. What day is this, y'all? What day is this?
Today is
Wednesday.
Veterans Day. Shout out. Thank you,
Yes.
veterans.
Thank you to all of those veterans.
Yes.
My dad's a veteran.
That's right.
Yeah, he
And
served
then
20 years in the Air Force.
Awesome.
Wow.
And he
We're
hated
all
every
fucking
year of it.
Did y'all have, what'd you say?
He hated every year of it.
Did he really?
Aw. That's a long time though, 20 years to stick it through.
Yeah, he got, well, because he's like, hey, I want all of it. I want the
Mhm.
full
I mean,
retirement thing.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Nice.
How long did Eric serve?
13 years.
13.
Mhm.
And he
Wow.
went straight out of high school, right? Just,
Right. Right.
Wow.
And B, how many years did you serve?
Well,
Right. Seems like I'm signing up tomorrow, as a matter of
yes,
fact.
I can still make it.
Yeah, you can. Air Force, if you want to travel Air Force.
Well, guys, I'm a little too old now to join the Air Force.
Yeah,
Are you?
Yeah.
I am.
think
I
you're just
looked
making
it up. No, I actually talked to, options. I'm a little too old.
Okay, Army, that's fine.
But yes, thank you for everybody who is a veteran. Thank you for your service and commitment. So we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. So thank you all.
Amen.
Exactly.
Amen.
Especially me. I would still be over in the Philippines.
You'd still be a little Filipino.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even be, my name wouldn't be Joe Baker.
I
It's
know.
crazy. So I'm very happy to have a veteran as my papa.
Thank you,
Yes.
Papa Joe Baker.
Yeah.
Or our Joe Baker.
Right. Exactly.
For Joe Jr.
So, how was your day, Sandy?
Oh my gosh. Let's just start with
Had the appraisal today.
I had my appraisal today, and I'm a nervous wreck. I know I seem cool, calm, and collected, right? But I really want to know how much my house appraised for. And so, anyway, so that's just kind of my day. I took Johnny Cash with me to work, and I can't lift Piper into our truck, and she can't jump in. So I had to tell the appraiser, I'm like, look, my dog is more scared of you than you are of her. She's in the back. And he's like, oh, okay, I can deal with that. And so anyway, so Piper had to stay home, but I'm like, Johnny is crazy, so he's got to come with me. So anyway, went to work, and then I left the office at noon, and then I came back home. And then we had to leave again and load everybody up because the buyers all wanted to come back and look at the house again.
Oh.
And so that just makes me so nervous. I'm like, a negative Nancy here.
They changed
The
their
world
mind.
is burning.
Yeah. They're going to be like, we don't want the house anymore. Turns out. Oh, and y'all know what Johnny Cash has been doing? He's gone crazy. So we have some benches, and not to be confused with betches, but we have benches. And he's eating my cushions. And the buyers want our backyard furniture, and he's been eating cushions, and I'm like, I don't know what's gotten into him, so I've had to reorder cushions to replace what he's eaten.
Oh my goodness.
He feels it. Maybe he's not ready for the change, Sandy.
He's not. And they've also started digging in the backyard, so now I have a hole the size of Texas in my backyard. And here these people are coming over to look at their house, and they're like, okay, so far you're chewing cushions and you have holes in the backyard.
Another
One of the
pool.
surprises. Yeah. Second sauna.
Wow.
So anyway.
So did you find out how much it was worth yet?
No, I'm like, how long is it going to take? And I hate to bug my realtor and keep asking her silly questions.
Yeah.
But anyway, she said, I'm going to find out for you, and I'll let you know. And I'm like,
You're like, the sooner the better.
okay,
The sooner the better.
it's better. I can sleep. Just
Right.
kidding. I can sleep just fine, but I'm just
Exactly.
anyway. How was your day, B?
My day was pretty good. So I started off with getting my nails done. So
Do you dip or polish?
it's just shellac.
Are those
So-
courtesy of Rain?
Yeah, so Ray did my nails again. So guys, if you need your nails or hair done, holler at Rain. She's still learning, but It's all good. But Joe,
It's like I still have my hair.
I still have
No.
my hair intact, guys. No, but yes. So I got my nails done, and then I really just ate all day. I've been cooking with mom and dad, so I made them tacos for lunch, and then for dinner, mom made us sopes. So I got to watch the whole process again of how to make corn tortillas because I've been trying to make tortillas, but I can't figure it out when I put them on the comal. So, what is a comal in English?
Comal.
Comal.
I don't know.
It's
There is
no translation.
hot plate.
It's Comal County.
Translation, hot plate.
Hot plate. But when I put it on the hot plate, I can never get it right. They either come out too burnt or they're just not ready. So I'm still learning. But yeah, that was my day. Just
Okay.
So you're basically saying you're not Mexican enough to make
Right.
tortillas.
I'm
Is that
not
what-
there
that's what
yet.
I'm hearing.
I can make tortillas, B.
really tortillas de harina, Sandy. Okay, then I gotta go to your house and get
No,
tortillas.
harina, girl. We can't. That's not gluten free, girl. I'm talking about corn.
Digo maíz.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I can make corn tortillas.
Really?
Yes.
I can't get it. I burn them. I don't know.
Maybe it's your hot plate.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's my hot plate.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
It's not me. It's a hot plate.
You're
That's
right.
what it is. But
No.
yeah, that was my day. How about you, Joe?
So my day, I woke up, made it to work,
Did you
And
brush
I-
your teeth with a bottle of Jack?
did brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. yeah, that was it. Yeah, no, nothing exciting. Oh, I had 2 photo shoots today. I don't
nice.
usually have 2 photo shoots during the week, but one was a Texas Tech senior, and the other one was a headshot for a pageant girl. So that's always fun. And
What pageant?
I don't know what
You didn't
circuit
ask
it is.
questions.
Yeah,
Oh my
and I've shot hers before, and I'm just like, what circuit are you with? Blah blah blah. Because
Circuit or circus?
circuit,
Okay.
circuit. A
Just had to
circuit.
clarify.
Right.
Yes. So they have different types of circuits for pageants.
I hope she's not watching tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
That was
too.
that was all me, not Joe. Hi, Sean. Sean says we are on
Good
fire
evening,
tonight.
Joe.
Man, we
Oh,
need some more comments, people.
What
Like, what's
happened?
going on with nobody commenting or saying hi?
Joe says it's Sean says it's B.
oh, thanks,
yeah.
Joe. Thanks for the
It is
shout
good.
out.
It is big. Yeah. So what else happened? Oh, it was nice weather, and that was it. There's nothing special. I had to walk more because I had photo shoots, and I don't usually walk that much.
Is that what you took a nap?
Let's check and see what my activity is on my watch. And
What's
see
your
what it
activity
says
level?
here. Let's see how many steps I took today, so you guys could be like, "Hey, Joe actually moved 4,592."
Oh,
Wow. And what's your daily like, Joe? If you don't have
Hey,
a
let's
photo
not
shoot?
get into that, okay? We don't have to do that.
It's
You can be quiet. We don't need to bring up that type of stuff, okay? It's fine. It's
But
fine.
your
We don't have to do
audience
that.
wants to know.
No, it's
Look at all these people wanting to know.
exactly. We had so many people interested in how
They,
much
it's
I
like they
walk
all
around.
popped back up.
Oh yeah, and I happen to grab him. So I walk in and, or no, actually B walks in and says, "Hey Joe, we got 20 minutes," and I'm like, "I'm trying to finish my nap."
Right.
Okay.
Let me know when it's a 1 minute, B.
And I'm here asking questions. Joe, can I borrow your laptop? Joe, can
know,
I
I
get
was like,
this?
I
Thanks,
just want
Jamie.
to sleep.
Oh, I
Alright.
also took a nap today. 2-hour nap.
Yeah, that was nice.
Must be
It
nice.
must have been nice to be able to do that.
It was. It was. So, since we all know how everybody's day was, Joe, what do we have today?
Well, let me tell you. Let me find it first.
Let me find my notes.
Let me find my notes because I'm like, oh, great. So now I know how Jamie
Pineapple
feels.
would have had
He's
him on
like,
his toilet paper
yeah, he
roll.
would have been like, hey, what are you doing? We need to get this going. So, y'all, let me tell you who we have on the show today. She is a friend of mine. She's a fellow photographer, and she does this really cool photography with newborns, which is something that I don't do. So we're not really competition. So everyone's like, you can't have friends that are photographers. Oh yeah, we can.
Yes,
we
you
just
can.
We just take pictures of different things.
Right.
And that's okay. But Monica is a local photographer specializing in newborn photography and creating unique mini sets for clients. Oh, she also does minis, and I don't do minis either. So
Mini sessions.
in-
mini sessions. So
Okay.
they're like 15, 20-minute sessions, and she crams as many as she can in a day. And she builds these awesome sets and stuff like that. See, that's way too much work for me. It's just like, I'm not going to do
That would be like another 300 steps, and we just
yeah,
are not
exactly.
doing
I
that.
can't do that many steps. Okay?
That's too much.
She's been a photographer for 8 years and is currently the president of the local PPA. And PPA
know,
stands for
president?
Professional Photographers Association. Yeah. So we have a
Oh,
president here on the
very
show with us.
nice. Look at
She
that.
spends most of her time in front of the computer, chasing her children, or with her nose in a book.
I love it.
So
Aw,
without
very
further
nice.
ado, please, everyone, welcome Monica Pletcher to the show. Clap, clap,
Hi,
clap, clap,
Woo,
clap.
welcome to the show, Monica.
Thanks
Hold
for
on,
having me.
we're about to fix this thing. I'm a little slow on it here.
Right.
There you go. Oh, and we're gonna switch this because you're the baby photographer.
Yes.
You're see, it messes
There we
all of us
go.
up. Yeah, there we go. Monica, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for choosing to have me on. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome. You are very welcome. So we're gonna ask you to tell us a little bit about you, other than what I read, and other than why we brought you on.
Right.
So you got to find something. You got to dig. You got to dig and tell us a little something else.
Let's see. I have a dog named Piper. So
I have a Piper.
mine is this big though, not this big.
Piper's 115. She's petite.
What kind of dog is that?
She's a Newfoundland.
Oh gosh. Well, mine is a toy Australian Shepherd. So I have a Piper.
Aw.
Oh.
I was trying to think about what y'all were talking about earlier. What were we talking about? Steps? I don't do steps either. I don't count that. I try not to be like they're busy.
Yeah.
No. But I do have a studio out here in Shallow Water. I've had it for about a year now.
Okay.
Nice.
It's still quite a disaster, like it was like the day I moved in, which is why I have this back here. So you don't need to see what's behind the curtain like in Wizard of Oz.
Right.
Um,
How many children do you have?
4 children,
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh. Oh.
You have your hands full.
4 children and a husband, so 4.5 children.
Oh, really
Oh,
full
yeah.
now.
Yeah. I can only imagine what he's saying about that.
Okay. And do you want to say hi to all of them? And
No, they're asleep. They're
okay.
good. Yeah,
Even
I get
better.
high scanner. But yeah, Emily is 11, Kate is 8, and then JW and Luke are 5. They're 4 days apart.
Oh, 4 days apart?
Yeah, they're not twins. Don't worry.
Oh, wow. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah,
I
we're
forget about why we brought you.
never mind this. Tell us how that happened.
Oh, that I would be so sorry for any mama that had to go through that. No.
Oh. Okay. So, Monica, we almost had to like pivot today because something happened to you, and so we thought we would bring that on the show and because I was when you sent me that I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
So
Like-
last Christmas, my mom got me a knife sharpener, and my 5th child Tanner likes to use it all the time, and so I'm used to really dull knives, and I pulled out my bacon today and I started slicing it, and then all of a sudden I got more than just the bacon. And I screamed really loud with my finger, and I run over to the sink, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do. Is it bad? Is it bad?" And it's just, and I'm like, "Oh god." Tanner's like, he like goes real straight. He's like, "We're gonna go to the doctor. We're gonna go get you stitches." And I'm like, "No, I don't want any stitches. Please don't get any stitches." But they glued it for me, so
They glued it.
yeah, it's not very pretty.
Oh wow. So yeah,
Oh.
when you said the
But-
tip of your finger, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, you didn't hit bone, so that's good." And I was like, "Well, something stopped it."
Right.
But, at least it's my left hand. I'm a righty, so it's not going to interfere. And
It's not your camera
It's
clicking.
not your yeah.
it's my thumbs up finger.
So Tanner said that's a fair statement.
Yeah. Probably that he's a child. Hi, babe.
Right.
Priscilla, welcome to the show. So Monica,
Yes, sir.
you have to tell us your journey. How did you start with photography? And
Oh, man.
and then why did you pick newborns? I know that's
So-
not the only thing you do, but
Okay, so when I was little, I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. So I tried to do that for a long time. And I was always taking pictures of my students and my friends and that sort of thing. And so when my 8-year-old was born, she was kind of unhealthy. and I needed to stay home with her. So I started charging people, and I named my business finally. Like I made it official. I, did all the tax things and gave it a name and a Facebook page, and it made it legit. And I tried to do all the things that everybody else does, right? Like seniors, like I can teach a senior. I'm not a senior photographer, so I send them to Joe. I send them to my other friends. I'm like, go see the people that know how to make you look good. And then I just kind of started noticing that really, really liked babies and cuddling with them and posing them and then sending them home with their parents.
Right.
So, yes.
That's the most important part. Sending them home.
Like no babysitting.
No, I have enough of that when I go home. I like the ones that like to snuggle and eat a bottle and then they leave. But I noticed over the last couple of years, I just got more and more and more newborns, and I was okay with it. I was totally fine with it. So I guess I've specialized in it for the last couple of years. Every time that there's a class to take or whatever, I'm like, oh, newborn photography, you want to do that one? So
there's something special about newborn photography that a lot of people don't realize. There's more than just sitting your baby on the beanbag and taking the picture of it, right?
And hoping for the best.
No crying, no.
I was going to pull out my attempt at newborn photography, but then I would have been, people would have laughed on. I would
Okay,
never
go
been
for it.
hired ever again.
So you don't know worse.
have you taken pictures of a newborn, Joe?
My kids, before I started photography, and then we got the big bow and put on the back of the kid, and I'm like, this is just terrible.
Delivered from God, right? Yeah.
I was just like, how do people do this? And then I was telling people yesterday that when I was going to attempt, I even went out and bought props. I bought wraps. I had a beanbag, and then I started watching the tutorials on it. And I'm like, I don't think I could do this.
It's serious. Like I definitely had some Pinterest fails when I started. Like I didn't realize that babies are best under 10 days old. Everybody was like, well, I've got a newborn. And I was like, okay, bring me that baby. I didn't ask how old the baby was. So I was like, it's this big. I'm going to put it in the back of a Tonka truck that's this big. It should be fine. Like there's not much to it. No, if a baby is under 10 weeks, usually under 10 days old, they do their little poses and the sweet things and they cuddle. But after that, they're like, and they cross their eyes, world, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, shh.
Yeah, so do you use the white noise thing, and then you have to make sure that the room's a certain temperature? And
Oh, wow. So many factors.
Yeah, so I try to have white noise on. I used to have the best app, and then I got a new phone, and now I can't find mine. So currently I use Spotify. Don't use Spotify, because most of the time, like you hit play, and it plays a couple of really nice, soothing things, and then it's like an airplane taking off. But soothing noise in like 85, 90 degree room is kind of.
Oh, really?
it's the standard, yeah.
It's like a sauna.
So I know you do a lot in studio. Do you ever do some at people's homes and stuff like that, or to make it easier, or do you say, no, I'm not going to do that? You need to bring me in.
Easier.
Yeah,
You're in there.
I use that term loosely.
I will travel to a house, but I kind of set an expectation that like all my fun stuff doesn't come with me. Like I try to limit my fun stuff to, whatever I can fit in my arms, like a bucket, couple of posers, couple of bows, couple of wraps, that kind of thing. So, and I always ask somebody, I'm like, do you want lifestyle, which would be at home, or do you want studio posed? And then I try to figure out where they want to go. Most of my people that come to me want studio posed.
They want like the Ann Gettys or Ann Geds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know how to say her name either, but I know
Gettys.
Yeah, she started the whole thing, I think, really
calendars. Yeah.
with the calendars, and then having the funny poses. The frog pose is like a big thing of hers.
Yes.
And then wrapping them and putting them in the funny little outfits and stuff like that. So first pointer, less than 10 days old.
Less than 10 days old. Yes.
Okay.
Like leave the hospital and come see me.
Basically.
Yeah, most of my moms are like, okay, we're getting discharged today. When do you want me to come? And I always pick the day that they pick their doctor's appointments. There was like, oh, we can't come that day. We have a pediatrician appointment. Like I have this magic skill to interfere with that. And so most of my babies that come to see me are like 7 to 10 days old. I try to get them younger, but it's kind of hard. You know, you have a baby, then you have to leave your house again.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I know you can't walk around right now, but can you bring your baby for photographs?
Right.
And some of my moms actually get dressed to be in the photographs. Like,
Wow.
I know.
You're like, they're hardcore, huh?
Yeah, they're
hardcore. I barely showed up and gave my baby to the photographer. And then I fell asleep in the chair while she did her magic.
Nice. We got a couple of comments here first.
okay.
Ashley.
Says, hey, Monica. And then we'll get to this question. I'm going to save this one because this is a question about a certain thing that happened. So we're going to wait on that one.
Okay.
Because I want to get into your work here in just a second. But Sandy, go ahead with your question.
Well, this is so funny because I want to say maybe Sunday I was on TikTok and I watched a newborn photography shoot. And the way they wrapped that baby, I'm like, I never knew. I just thought you just chunked that little baby up on a little bean bag and he was good. She just kept rolling and rolling, made sure his little hand stayed out. And I was just amazed. And I thought, my gosh, that's a lot of work.
It is. And if she was smart, she probably wrapped several different wraps around her, right? Around the baby. So then that way they could just take one off and it was still wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
So then they could just go from like white on like a white backdrop and a blue wrap and then take that one off and then go over here to a bucket and it's in a brown wrap and they just kind of like unwrap it like an onion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like there's a certain flow. Like they have a certain
Yes.
posing flow. And if you're smart like that, you wrap them up and that way you're not handling the baby as much. With the way that things have gone on, you know, the things that's happened this year, has that kind of affected how you do your thing now, or is
I wear a mask because of the inconvenience that is happening right now. My mom still want their babies documented, you know, so like
right.
they still want to come, and as long as I have my mask on and I lather up with all of the disinfecting stuff, it seems to be okay. But maybe it's just in my head, but it feels like the babies are a little jumpier, you know, because usually all these people are coming in like the first day and they go visit at the hospital and they get passed around. And then now they're really connected to mom and dad. And so when they leave mom and dad, they're kind of like, whoa.
Right.
Right.
We're here.
Right. What are you trying to get me to do here?
And like there's older siblings, they're like, oh, why are you making baby cry? And I was like, that's what's going to happen for the next couple of hours. They're not going to like me. I'm probably not doing it on purpose.
And Monica, and I think even more so now, just with everything that's happening, I think people do want to have more documentation because not everybody's coming over to see baby. So you're sending out these pics, you know, to those that can't come around and be around.
Well, and I always say that I'm going to take videos and, you know, do the social media things. But like when I'm in the moment, it just kind of flies out of my head. But I agree with you. Like everybody kind of wants, I mean, they wanted to put the pictures on Facebook anyways and celebrate the baby. But now there's even more of a reason to celebrate the baby because if you get to see it, it's either on a screen or like through a window.
Right.
Exactly. All right, Monica, we're going to pull up some of your work. And I had her send me ones that were either her favorites or that she had stories about. And then we'll get into some of the questions, one of the questions that we got into in the comments here. But give me just a second. Oh, and this is just for the nerds, the camera nerds. What gear do you shoot with, Monica?
Right.
I am a Nikon user, so I shoot with the Nikon D800.
Okay, this show's over. Sorry.
I know.
Nikon. now, Joe, you're not a Nikon fan, no?
Sony, aren't you?
I'm Sony. Yeah, I'm Sony. And before Sony, I was Canon, so I definitely did not like Nikon.
And I'm a Polaroid person myself, so.
and I'm an iPhone person.
Right.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
Yes.
Oh, we got to take this off.
Oh my goodness.
So I think we're going to get a lot of those comments.
Right. And I'm like, look at the little baby.
Right. Oh.
Okay, so first of all, take us through this process. And did you have this in mind, or do the parents kind of say, hey, we want this type of look?
So usually I ask, does he have a nursery? What does it look like? So I try to coordinate nursery colors, or if it's going to go in your kitchen, or if it's going to go in your living room. These parents are some of my good friends, so they're like, I don't care. Just go for it.
Put him in a bucket.
The only request this mama had was that he had to wear a hat at all times.
Oh.
This is baby Jensen. He was born using forceps, and so he was in NICU for 3 weeks. So baby Jensen is not 7 to 10 days old. He was about 3 weeks old in that picture. So he has a couple of scars and some incisions on his head. So mom said, as long as he has a hat on, I don't really care. And as long as he was fed, he did not care.
He looks like he is milk drunk right here.
Living the good life.
Yes. And he preferred that position than swaddled or on his back or anything. And I kind of just put him in the bucket and I laid him over and he was like, okay. And then he went right to sleep.
He's so cute.
That's precious.
That's awesome. All right, let's go this way.
Oh.
Look at all the hair. I love that.
So Chrysalyn has so much hair, and she came out with so much hair. She gets it from her mama. Sweet baby girl, they're part of the Grow With Me package. And so I have a Grow With Me package, which is maternity, newborn, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months.
Oh, how cool.
The whole year.
Yes, so they kind of get to document baby's first year and mama carrying it, So I get to see this sweet baby girl every 3 months, and mama is already pregnant again. So
Wow.
they're kind of stuck with me for a while.
That's so cool.
It is.
But
You're like, just keep going. You're like, keep
Yeah.
going.
That is job security, people.
Right.
But so this baby was super sleepy, and so I kind of just put her in this position, and she stayed. So I put a little headband on her, and I took it off, and then I did just the hair, and then I put the little bonnet on. She didn't care. She was like, I'm fine.
Oh.
But I do remember it was very hot in there that day. She liked it
really?
very warm.
It's super warm.
Yeah.
So I noticed, because I'm a photographer, but just so you can kind of explain it, keeping it simple and more about the baby than like the backgrounds and stuff like that. That's really what you want to focus on with newborn photography, right?
Yeah, I try to keep it simplistic, but then there's the part of me, like the set building that we kind of talked about earlier with my mini sessions, that's like, let's go big or go home. So I either hit one or the other. I have a lot of mamas that like florals for the girls, and so I do flower wreaths and that kind of thing. But I try to go through and get just very simple pictures. I don't have a macro lens, so I don't get a lot of like the nose and the ears and the eyes and the fingers and that sort of thing. That's kind of a goal for next year. But something just so they can remember their face right at that particular moment.
That's awesome. So we'll go to the question here. Topher has a question.
Okay.
He says, we've seen the BTS shoots of parents getting messed on during shoots. What's the worst incident you had
Yes.
on a shoot?
Now we're talking.
So I have a uniform that I wear. It's a t-shirt that, it doesn't have holes in it, but it's very raggedy, and some like yoga pants. And I greet the parents and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. This is not how I normally dress.
I was about to say, do they look at you like you're the photographer?
Did you just wake up, ma'am?
Yeah, they don't know me, and it's like word of mouth. And I hate that that's how they meet me, but I try to, explain to them, this is so when your baby pees on me, it's okay. It's not a big deal. So
I'm in uniform.
yes, the uniform. This is the poo uniform. So the worst one was poo, and it happened on the beanbag, and I thought it was finished, and it wasn't. And so I picked the baby up, and it continued to go on the floor, and it missed my camera by this much.
Oh.
And then, of course, my first reaction was to catch it. So then I caught it, and I was like, ah! And then I kind of just looked up at the parents for help, like,
And they're laughing.
And they've got the camera taking pictures of you.
Exactly.
Hold on, let me.
And it's
Can you
always
hold
the parents
hold
that
it
are-
closer? Hold the pic closer to me.
It's always the parents that are petrified that they're going to get food on, because usually Pinterest or whatever, it's always the funny pictures of like dad and the fountain.
Yes.
But that's not how it goes. We fall on that sword for the parents most of the time.
Do you have
Nice.
hazmat pay included in your hazmat cleanup?
I mean, I should for sure, but
All
it's
right,
one
we
of those
got some.
things. It doesn't. Oh, thank you. It doesn't bother me like baby poo. It's it's okay. There's worse things in the world, right? Like
Mhm.
if I have a job and that's the worst thing that happens to me, I got a good
Right.
job.
See, and
Life is good.
it's not like they're eating nasty stuff. That's the thing. It's like the poop. We know where the poop
Yeah.
where it's coming from. It's
Right.
not like
Kind of
they
just
had
a cycle.
not like they ate corn on the cob or something. You know?
I didn't eat any
Milk.
corn.
Oh, here we go. Jamie says, "Thank you for doing the extra care for the babies, Monica."
Oh, no problem. They're my favorite. I love them. And I don't know which way Joe is headed with pictures, but there's a sad story coming. Which
Okay, we'll wait on that. I think
Okay.
I'm going this way. Oh, and then
Virgo happy, that's
Gabby
fine.
says,
Oh, my
ovaries."
Quick, take a picture of him.
mine too. That's why I do this, so I can say no more babies.
Let's see here. Jamie says, "Do you have special baby techniques for us to deal with babies?" I'm not sure what you mean.
It's Lamaze class.
Like photographing them or just babies in general. I just like put the football pose and run with them. The football grab and
So usually I have basketball hands is what I like to call them, piano fingers. And so as long as baby feels supported and the baby's not on its back, because if the baby's on its back, it has that startle thing.
Yeah.
And that's always what it poses. And so if I put the baby on the back, I always try to put a hand on top to kind of keep the arms down. Usually I can get arms and which way is my camera? Arms and feet. But just kind of keeping them snug and like they're being held at all times. It's my biggest trick because most of those, I mean, I know how many beans are like underneath her head and behind her to kind of keep her. We don't want her to roll over and freak out.
right.
Right.
Okay.
And now, Monica, have you had a session before where you just couldn't get any pictures because the baby was just not having it, or?
Yes, I've had a couple. Nothing recently. Prep work is kind of important, so I try to figure out when baby sleeps the most, and keep baby awake until the baby gets there. Make sure they're milk drunk. If they're not, feed them or bring a bottle.
Oh.
The baby today, I had a baby today, and he. We finally got it. We finally got that baby to be happy, but it took a little bit of time. And I'm going to say the C word real fast, and I'm very sorry, but I call them Corona babies, like we talked about earlier. That baby is attached to mom and dad, and that's all that baby knows. And they were like, "Nope, that's not you. You're not mom. I don't want you." But it took about an hour, and we finally got Jameson today. We finally got him.
Oh.
Jameson.
So that's another thing too, is like it's not just you can't just plan on a 15-20 minute session. It could take a little bit longer. So
Yes.
you set aside some time for that.
So I have it like a 30-minute session, and that's just baby. And I usually try to wrap the babies and just kind of go through the workflow. But if you want a longer session, some people get kind of stressed out because it says like on my description 2 hours. And they're like, I don't want a 2-hour session. That's a really long session.
Yeah.
And so it has taught me that it needs to say up to 2 hours.
Right.
I'm not going to hold you captive for 2 hours, but if it takes 2 hours to get your baby happy and cute and posed, you have that time.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of time, so Gabby has a question here. What's the longest a shoot has taken?
6 hours.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
I know
Wow.
what I was thinking. Baby was not happy. I was early with the newborns, and I was determined and stubborn, and I will get this, and I didn't get it. And so at 6 hours, I was like, all done. And I waved my white flag, and I didn't charge them, and we just kind of parted ways. But you have to start somewhere. But now I can usually get a baby happy and posed in 20 to 30 good images in about 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. You got it down.
Yes.
Sometimes, not always.
Yeah.
Every baby is different.
Right.
So are we ready to go to the next image there, Monica? Is this the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about this one.
So this is Simeon Softly. He was a twin. They hired me to do their Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep photography, which Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep is an organization that works with mamas who have babies that don't make it. And so I call them bereavement sessions. So the little footprints on the Bible page are his brother's footprints. And so they called me in. They told me the situation. I did the session in the hospital with both babies and parents. And then I offered a free session for them to bring in Simeon so they had some happy pictures too, and not just the pictures from the hospital. And so they brought the Bible with Samuel's footprints, and that little baby laid on that Bible more comfortably than he laid anywhere else. Like he was just there. And so anytime I do a show, that picture goes with me. Even if they don't know the story, everybody assumes that that's Samuel, which is fine.
That's
but he goes with me everywhere. He's hanging in my studio. Pretty sure that he's a happy 14 or 15-month-old little boy right now. So, yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. I love it.
It is.
You have to capture, I try to capture all of the parts. Had a client come in last week, and she had a baby that didn't survive. And then she had this one, which is called a rainbow baby, her first living baby after that. And she had a little otter, and he was holding a drawstring bag, and it had first baby's ashes in it. So
oh my gosh,
that we posed the babies with that. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the gift that God gave me, that part, like dealing with that. And so I enjoy it.
You
what a gift.
are a special person to do that, because I cannot do that. Because
yeah.
I wouldn't stop crying.
My first one, my first session like that ever, the nurses kind of got on to me, and they're like, "Are you going to stop crying?" And I was like, "Are you a robot?" No.
What's wrong with you people?
Gracious. But I've kind of figured out how to be in the moment and how to just, push pause. And really those sessions only take 20 to 30 minutes. And so I can kind of pause and then go cry. But those mamas need pictures too. That's their baby. They need to remember.
Let's see here. Get some more comments. I'm about to lose it. And then Topher says, "No, I'm not crying. You are." And then Gabby says, "This is so amazing, Monica. Such a good meeting. Definitely an example of a picture is worth 1,000 words."
No, now I'm crying. Thank you.
Awesome. So we'll move on here.
Oh, look at that baby.
That's another one of those stories where I put her on her stomach, and I didn't that's not photoshopped or anything. Like, I just put her head up on her hand, and she's like, "Okay." And she just sat there and just let me take pictures.
Aww.
Almost right there, like just in case that head moved. But she started full status from the beginning.
Yeah. So let's go into that. Like, talk about like baby safety and what you do to make sure that babies are safe, and some of the poses that look like that they're sitting up by themselves, but they're actually not, that type of stuff.
Well, I think that that's what a lot of photographers that are beginning, they don't know the baby safety, and they don't know that more than likely that would be a composite, which means like two different images put together to make it look like there's not a finger holding that head up or whatever. But I always have somebody, if it's not me or mom, if mom is not able, because birth is not easy.
Because you just had a baby?
Right.
Right.
Mom, I might have dad, or sometimes I call in an assistant if I know certain stories. But there's always somebody there, and there's always a hand, like just right out of frame, ready to get that baby. And some of the, I didn't put one in there because they're not my favorite pose to do, but like the froggy pose, which is hands here, it is very, very hard to do. Like, it is a composite because you have to hold here, then you have to hold the head, and you have to put them together, and you have to hope the baby doesn't move. And not all babies bend that way, And so you have to listen to the baby. And if you're trying to crunch them into a taco position and they're like, "I'm a burrito," you can't do me that way.
Right. Taco people.
Something happen, I'm a taller person anyways. So, but there, I mean, baby safety. I mean, if you see pictures of babies in a scale, like an old school weighing scale,
Yes.
Mhm.
we would like to think that that baby wasn't actually in that scale off the ground. You take a picture of baby and you put him in there, or babies on saddles or whatever. Like that baby, hopefully, if they were on that saddle, there better have been a hand on them, and like, and you take all of that out because they're fragile and they're tiny, and it takes
It
work.
sounds like a lot of work to take all of those things out, all those elements out.
It is, and so I try to communicate with the parents. Pinterest is the best thing and the worst thing in the world, right? So
Mhm.
I want to look like this, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I mean, I'm sure Joe, it comes with it, like, has to work with that, like with seniors and stuff.
Right.
I mean, we live in West Texas. I can't find you a mossy tree, and like, I can't. But and I can't. It's not realistic. So I try to talk to the moms and the dads and get them to understand. We'll try, but there's all these other really sweet poses that we can do in addition to that one.
In addition to your Pinterest dream.
But I mean, at the end of the day, when they see this picture, they're like, did I ask for something else? I don't really remember, because
Right.
that's their baby's face. And they don't really care how squishy it is. It's there.
So do you pose like this one? The fingers are like perfect. Did you actually move the fingers into that position, or did baby just?
So I take a safe shot, like I get them in that position, and then I'm like, okay, just in case this really takes the baby off, we're going to go ahead and get this picture, because mamas don't really always care if the baby's fingers are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll say, okay, then I'll kind of start moving the fingers or tucking the hair, and that's usually what ticks them off. But I know that I have that picture, so it's okay if they stop liking me.
Okay.
Aww.
Look at that. Okay, so let's go to the next one here.
So that's the same baby with big sister.
Oh, wow.
And so I was thinking about it when Joe was like, all right, so think about stories. And other than poop with babies, like the funniest story is when little siblings, she didn't do it, but her little brother, who is not pictured, they hold them and they pose and they say cheese, and then they're like, I'm all done, and then they drop the baby. I mean, if they're 2 or 3, like I always say, okay, now go save that baby, and the parents are like, no, go save that baby, because they're about to get dropped. That 2-year-old is all done. He got his picture. He wants his TV. So, Big Brother did not get to hold Monroe, and so Skylar was the baby holder, and she was ready. Those 2 girls are going to rule the world together.
Oh my gosh, that's a sweet, sweet picture.
Look at that crown right there.
I know, that smile.
Oh yeah, and that crown, I mean, it put an indentation in her forehead. She did not care. That baby was like, yes, queen, look at me. Happy, yes.
Very cool. Let's see here. Next one.
Oh,
So this set is a little bit more over the top than just the simplistic, but I try to make sure I get it all in there. Even if it's a 30-minute session, I start on the beanbag and I get the simple, and then I try to go to at least one bucket. She was just another chunky, happy baby, and she did not care that she was on her tummy. A ton of hair, and I got to see her last week for her 6-month session.
Oh,
and
wow.
2 little dimples that I didn't know. So like 6 months she was smiling, and she has these 2 little dimples, and I was like, oh, I wish I had gotten those last time.
Now, Monica, do you find it harder as they get older? They get a little bit more fussier, like at 3 months versus 6 months. How does that play out?
So usually my 3-month sessions with my Grow With Me, I try to go lifestyle. Like I try to go into the home, and a lot of my clients are like, oh, my home isn't pretty. I was like, well, mine's not either, but you get the interaction, because at 3 months, they still can't really hold their head up, but they have a whole different personality, and their face is completely changed. And so I try to get just some really sweet interaction shots, that sort of thing. 6-month-olds, unless they're chunky, they really just can't sit up yet. So I try to be flexible with like the 6, 7, 8 month session, because you want them to sit up, and you don't want to set them up and go 1, 2, 3, and then click, and the baby fall over and get a bruise. So, like, that's not worth it. Yeah.
Aw.
That's funny. That's what I feel for people. Like whenever we do family sessions or take pictures of kids and stuff like that. It's like parents, kids are not perfect. Your life is not perfect. Your house isn't perfect. That's not what it's about.
Right.
It's about capturing your child or your family in that moment as a family, not as this Norman Rockwell picture that doesn't exist.
Right. I think
So,
there's
I-
always a story to tell, like I try to tell the baby's story. This little girl, everything that her mama brought with her that day was pink. Like she was the pink glitter mom. And so I love that mom. And so I've tried to make all of her pictures as girly as possible. Like you try to tell the story. And I try to have done that with all of the other ones.
Mhm.
Oh, that's awesome.
How neat.
So how big is your prop area? Because
I'm a hoarder, and until this last studio, my friends would say, "Monica, I'm not helping you move anymore. Like we're not doing it. Like we're not moving. I've moved 4 times in the last 3 years," and they're like, "I'm not doing it because I have like 12 chairs and I have 25 buckets. Like I have all these things." And it doesn't help that some of my best friends own junk stores. So they're like, "Hey, Monica, can you put a baby in this?" And they'll send me a picture. I'm like, "Yes, please hold that for me." They're like, "I need to take stock in Hobby Lobby," because I'm thinking a lot of that came from there. So
so you have baskets and you have buckets and you have flowers and all the backdrops.
and all of the bucket stuffers too. So like in that bucket, there are specific newborn pillows and stuffers and stuff. And like you can use towels, but people are geniuses with the stuff they come up with. I'm like, I don't need that stuffer. And then I buy it on a whim or midnight shopping or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know how I ever survived without this. That looks like a moon and it just fits perfect. But I have all the things and I still don't have enough. So
Yeah, so you have blankets and then you have wraps. And I couldn't even.
and outfits, little baby outfits. I love them. Yes.
This comment here says, "Imagine it, she has it." But you said you don't.
That would be the husband because he knows because he's moved it all several times. And after he comes in after a newborn session, he's like, "God bless America, Monica. Is there anything you didn't move?" No,
Right.
that's it all. Moved it all.
Oh, I just remembered there's something special about your husband, right? Because he's part of a
band.
yeah
Yeah, he is. He's in a band.
from
Well,
one of our
hey,
former
Tanner.
guests.
Who?
Oh, Jacob. Right?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Jacob
Oh, really?
Hamill. And
yeah. The Hamill brothers. He's in that band.
yes. So
Oh,
Jacob
nice.
is the guitarist, and Ross is the lead singer, and Tanner is the bassist. And then they have a friend that is the drummer, and I like their music. I tried not to; it's not my jam, but they're good. And I was like, "Dang it! Okay, fine." So I can't just like be the cranky wife in the back. I'm up there, and I'm like bobbing my head. Yeah. They're in the
You're like,
front.
"It's all right. It's all right."
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you help me and you go to shows with me, I'll go to your shows.
Yeah,
I'll wear
I
the
guess I'm good.
t-shirt.
Let's see here. Carrie Patton Jackson, Hoarders Unite.
Yes, Hoarders Unite.
Stuff on stuff on stuff.
And that's how I have to store it too. And I shove and I shut the door and I run away and hope it doesn't open.
And then Ashley says, Joe, 2/3 of her studio is props, 1/3 is shooting.
Oh.
Yeah. So for my Christmas vintage this year, I had to move props out to put my sets in to do the shooting that's necessary for this time of year.
Oh.
So it's almost like a piece of me is missing because I don't have all of my props. But
Mhm.
I think it's best whenever distance happens, you appreciate them. Yeah.
Right, and then the holidays are coming, so you have the fall, now Christmas, so you definitely have to go shopping, Monica.
Right? I Etsy, that's what it's there for. Like, in between clients, I'm like, "Ooh, I really need a red Christmas wrap. I didn't like that
Right.
red. I need this red, and I need this." And Hobby Lobby. I mean, everybody's
Right.
always like, "Why does Hobby Lobby put Christmas stuff out in July?" It's right here, so I can
People like
start
Monica.
thinking.
Right. So Monica shops after Christmas, before Christmas, 6 months till Christmas.
I just shop. Just know that I shop. I write it all off.
Tanner says, rock on. Rock
Uh-huh.
on. Yeah. And then Carrie Patton Jack says, oops, you're my kind of girl.
Girl, yes.
I think we have one more picture here, Monica, to go through. And it's this one.
Oh.
So that's my best friends. Those are those are her girls. Poppy is the big one, and Lila is the little one.
Aww.
And
I
so,
love their names.
so it's Penelope. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me. It's Penelope Lee. Okay, Penelope Lee and Lila May. And
Oh.
I know. And they're my favorite little girls ever. And then that rocky chair thing came from my friend Lacey Jones, who owns Wild West Vintage Decor on West 19th Street.
Yes,
Oh,
I've been to her store.
Yep. A lot of my stuff comes from her store. And
Oh,
so
okay.
she got it in one day and was like, hey, Monica, look what I found. And I was like, yes. So she's part of my habit. She's part of the click, do you need this thing that happens.
Nice.
But I love
This
that
outfit looks kind of vintage too.
It does. I love that.
So Molly is an old soul, and so I tried to make most of what they did. It was either old vintagey stuff or Harry Potter. So she got both. But
Aw.
yep,
I love Big Sister's dress. That is beautiful too.
she likes to shop about as much as I do. We just shop for different things. So those girls are dressed to a T. But that little romper is mine. I love it, and that's probably the only time that baby was ever that small. She is a chunk now. That was about
Oh, really?
But Poppy is she would be a dropper that we talked about earlier, like
Oh.
smiled and then drop. So
Oh.
we didn't even give her the chance. We just said, kiss her, don't hold her.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and see, and that's a big thing too. Like whenever we're talking, I'm teaching photography students about stuff. I'm like, it's emotion trumps everything. So it's like when you can capture that emotion and just see what it looks like, even though she probably didn't like it 2 seconds later, but you're able to capture that, and those are what makes the great pictures and stuff like that. So
Yes.
it's because you got her into the pose, and then just kiss the kid.
Well, and of course, like when Poppy got in it rocks. And so Lila moved a little bit. So, I mean, like when Molly looks at that picture, she sees her girls loving on each other and like the beginning of a beautiful relationship, right? When I look at it, I'm like, oh, I love those little girls, but man, Lila's face is a little smushed. And then I start to pick it apart, like as the artist.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't care that her face is smushed. She's just like, that's because she's got big cheeks,
Right.
It is about the emotion. Like we get to ride that emotional wave, and it kind of overshadows some of the
So,
we do.
quote unquote technical issues that are not
Yes,
really technical
yes.
issues.
So looking at your pictures makes me sad that I didn't take baby pictures of my kids. Would you be able to do baby pictures for my 14 and 20-year-olds? Is that a possibility?
Put them in a bucket, bring
Yes.
it,
We put them in buckets.
Yeah. Pick up a cake and just take a big old bite. They'll be fine.
Perfect. Great. We'll call you.
Perfect.
So we got some more comments here. Ashley says, "Aw," and then Joanne says, "So stinking cute. You do a great job. Thank you."
Oh, thank you so much.
And then Gabby says, "So if you ever need an assistant, I would love to help learn and watch behind the scenes. If you need a smoke girl, I can do that too."
Smoking babies. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So Gabby is my smoke person. She helps me with my smoke shoots, and so she's pretty good at it.
We can merge some of those things together, babies.
Yeah, babies and smokes and gels and we need to try that, Monica.
Yeah, we should. That'll be interesting.
In January, when we're bored out of our minds, we'll bring our skills together.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds good. If you can do this with babies, I bet you could do amazing with baby snakes.
Oh, Jaime.
I don't they exist. I just don't touch them.
Just
Don't touch. I mean, I guess really, if you could pose the snake, I will put on my big old lens and shoot from back there. See what I can capture.
All right. So that was the last of those there. So we'll put
Those
that-
are awesome, Monica.
Guys. I love the job. I'm lucky to get to do it.
Now, how long have you been working with babies, Monica?
Well, in the beginning, B, she said 2 years. So
Oh,
if
2
you have been
years.
listening to
Sorry.
the show, were you late today or something? Because
She froze.
I was just making sure.
She was trying to summarize for all of our viewers.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She said
2
she was a teacher before, so
Yes. So I've been photographing for 8 years. I have been successful with babies for 2 to 3 years. I did some Pinterest fails before that, 6 hours of shoots, that kind of thing. But for about 2 years, I kind of went from weddings to babies.
Oh,
Left
wedding.
weddings behind. Joe and I feel the same way about weddings. Maybe I don't feel quite as strongly as Joe does. And then now we do babies and kiddos.
Oh,
We'll leave the weddings for Ashley.
Oh yeah, exactly. Do a rainbow baby smoke shoot with rainbow colors in the back. Oh,
Sold.
rainbow
I need
babies.
I need my assistant. I will do it.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then Jamie says, "You could do it. You could do it."
He
Yeah,
believes in you.
I
Yeah.
could. I should. We should.
And a Brazilian rainbow boa too. So I'd like to see that snake, but yeah.
That's what you need an iPhone for, is to take that picture.
Gee, you're hired.
Zip code. That's okay. Yes.
Oh, and Jamie says he's glad that you asked that question. Somebody's
Right.
I got it, guys. A biker baby shoot, mini motorcycle, mini leather jacket, red gels, and lots of smoke. We got to find a biker family.
All right. I'll put a call out. We'll see what we can find. Absolutely. They're biker babies. We just got to find them.
Right.
There is. And your husband's in the rock. Is it a rock band? Or-
Yeah, he's in
It
a
is
rock
a rock
band.
band.
Sweet.
There you go.
Yes. They have smoke at their show, so I need smoke in my studio.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So, Monica, do you have any wish list shoots that you want to do for babies that you haven't done yet, and you're just like, hey, I'm just waiting for the perfect baby to do this?
Oh, she wants to practice on my
Or-
14-year-old.
I want triplets. I've only had twins. I would like to try
Ooh.
triplets. And I want a perfect sleeping baby, so I can practice some of my composite work and like my digital backgrounds, and so I can take a picture of a baby and take it and put it on top of a moon and create kind of. I'm trying to go a little artsy maybe next year. I don't know. Try to create pictures are art, but create artier art. I don't know. So just a really either triplets, so bring me triplets, or a very, very sleepy baby that I can put in any pose and then drop into any pictures. I'm not picky at all. It's fine. Just bring me babies.
Just bring me babies.
More babies.
Yeah, babies. It's fine.
Well, somebody sent me a picture of the rainbow boa, so I thought
Oh,
I got to share that. So that's what it is. And
I
here's the
expected
post.
the rainbow boa to be more colorful.
I know. That's not a rainbow boa.
That's not going to eat me. I could be in the same room with that.
Okay. Cool. So, Monica, time flies when we're having fun. It's
Yeah.
We're already at the end of the show.
Wow.
And so, did it feel that way? Because I know you were
Wait.
nervous.
Yes, that was very quick. I'm shocked that I talked that long. I had fun. For those of you who don't know me, like this is like my ears are red. You see, like I'm very, very nervous. I don't know why I have my little space heater on over here. I have my own little heater, but I had fun. It was. I could be
Awesome.
him sometime. Like I
Well,
think
now we're to that part
She's
of the
gonna be
show
on my
where
show.
So we're to that part of the show where we give you some time to kind of plug whatever you want to plug.
Okay.
We're going to give you the screen, and then you can just tell us what you want, say what you want to say there. So hold on
Okay.
just a second.
Oh, look, it's just me. Okay. So on Facebook, find me, shinealittlephotography.com. On Instagram, it's Shine by Monica. Right now, I am doing my Christmas minis. So that's kind of what it's going to be all over. But I still have slots for pajama minis. I have a wreath wall with shiplap and only green wreaths. That's really pretty. I have a box. So I don't know if you've seen the box sessions, but it's a big white box. And I change sets out and I put your kids in and dogs and those sorts of things. And then I put a grid together of like 9 different boxes in Photoshop. And then stars, because that's my favorite shape. And so I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to incorporate it every season somehow. So I have like dangling gold stars. So Christmas minis are happening, ornaments. I could be your one-stop shop for everything Christmas if you want me to be, like your Christmas valet. So go find me on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you, Monica.
Yeah,
Much.
so Monica loves props, and I hate props. So we're like perfect friends for that. I tell people, it's like, you want props? I'm not the one to go for that. Monica, thank you again for coming on our show and talking about your craft and letting us know what it takes to be a newborn photographer. And some of us really know that we don't want to do that, and right here. So
Right.
I am glad that you have that passion, and it's just awesome for you to share your work. You
Yes.
do amazing work. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing those beautiful
Yes, Monica,
babies.
thank you.
So we're gonna put you in the green room. If you'll hang out for a little bit, we will chat with you then,
Okay.
and just kind of follow up from there. But thank you again. We'll talk to you
Bye,
soon.
guys.
Good night, Monica. So here's some. Momager says, Sandy, give Kate a sleeping pill. Yes. I'm going to make my baby pictures come true.
Benadryl.
Oh, and then Gabby, yeah.
In March, you want to do a 288-month-old baby. I can sleep and you can wrap me in
Gabby.
with a little bottle of wine. How cute.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Ashley says, you were awesome, Monica. Sean wants pictures of snakes.
Yeah, I think so.
Jamie says, you're a star, Monica. And Jamie also gives you props, Monica.
Yeah. Man, so that was cool. See,
Yeah, that's so cute. Like, I couldn't do that. I don't have patience.
Right? It's like you never think of all like the behind the works that goes into getting that one picture of baby sleeping.
See, and that's why people like, you charge that much? And I'm like, do you realize what it takes to get certain shots and stuff like that? And all the work that is taken to get to that point, to come up with a shot like Monica's. Is just,
So
those are the
I
things.
I'm going to reach out to her so she can send it to me. I have a friend who, somebody that she knew was starting at photography. And so she had just had a baby and she's like, I would love to photograph your baby. Those pictures were awful. They were awful. And so she, of course, didn't get an opportunity to have good pictures. I'm going to see if she'll send them to me because she was like, look at this. So I'm going to see if she'll send them to me.
Oh, I'll see if I can find my fail too, because it was a picture of Jet, I think, and I was like, this is not a good picture. I don't even.
I bet it's not. You're just seeing it through the eye of.
Because like I didn't even know anything about skin tones or lighting or anything. I don't even know what picture. It was terrible. It was terrible. So, anyways,
Look, we're just trying to make you feel better.
You're just giving yourself a hard time. You're like, well.
When we see it, we'll be like, oh.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us this week. Today is Wednesday, so we are done for the week, but we'll be back on Monday with the Monday catch up, and Mr. Pineapple should be back, and we will have to say bye to B.
Bye,
Thank you so much, B.
She's going to be in town, so she might make a guest appearance here and there. We'll see. She needs to be in the comments, or her brother-in-law's going to be a little mad. So.
Right. How dare you?
I'm not good like everyone else, like Carrie and Gabby and Momager. Y'all are so good on top of making these comments, and I'm like, by the time I think of something, they already forgot about it. I'm like,
You're right. We've already moved on. We move really fast.
There's a little bit of a delay, so yeah.
Did you see this right here? My favorite line. Anyone know a photographer who is good but reasonable? I don't recommend anybody. When I see that good but reasonable.
Yeah.
I
hate it when people. So I shouldn't say this because people tag me, like in the garage sale sites and stuff like that. People tag me. I'm like, please don't do that. Yeah,
no, I'm the same because I've seen that. I'm like, anybody know a good photographer that's reasonable and can do this and this? And I'm like, I just don't tag anymore because I'm just like, people expect and then
right, exactly. I was like, that's why I tell people there's plenty of work, and you are allowed to be selective on the work that you want to do, and that's the cool thing. It's like, I specialize in seniors and families and models, and then Monica specializes in newborns and mini sessions. We have all these specialties, so it's okay for you to say no, I don't want to deal with those type of people.
Right. The reasonable people.
I will tell you, the hardest thing to learn in business is how to say no. Just say no. It's okay. So anyways, but thanks for the show, and thanks for bringing it on today. It was awesome. I don't kind of like I like Jamie doing this part of it, so
I know.
I'm used to I'm over here used to drinking my water, eating my candy. I got candy and stuff to eat, and I can't even do that because I'm having to be kind of this part of it. So, anyways, it's like this. It's an awkward feeling.
Oh, don't forget about Pineapple Project, guys.
Oh, yes. Let's put that back up. Don't forget about the Pineapple Project. There is a post on the Facebook page to tell you all about it. And there's a Venmo link, and that way you can help make sure that we get these Christmas for Kids taken care of, because we want to make sure that we can give them a really good donation this year for that. So other than that, with that,
And as always, guys,
Remember to wash your hands.
for 20 seconds.
You filthy animals. Oh,
Good
keep
night,
talking.
everybody.
I
Good
gotta find
night. Thank y'all for joining, guys. Thank you
You
for
never
letting
get
me
it
be
ready.
your guest
I
host.
never get it ready.
It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know?